Welcome to the Alabama A&M Football Review. Highlights, features, and analysis with head coach Connell Maynor.
Good evening and welcome to the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Maynor. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach, rough one at Lewis Crew Stadium yesterday. Southern comes to town. Made it a close game. You led early. Had to come back and get the lead. And then you had a chance at the end of the ball game.
Yeah, we got off to a good start. Got up to a 10-zip lead. But really we should have maybe punched that touchdown in. We got down there in the red zone and couldn't punch it in. So we had to kick a field goal. When time you get those points, you got to go ahead and take them. So we took the points, got up 10-zip, and then they scored 19 unanswered and took a 19-10 lead, and we kicked the field goal, made it 19-13. Of course, then we went down late, got a touchdown for the lead with 3 minutes left in the game, 3.5 minutes left in the game, take a 20-19 lead, and now we got to put it on the defense's hands to stop them. They was fortunate enough to go down and score a touchdown. We had like a minute, 15 seconds left, but with no timeouts to try to get back down and score a game-winning touchdown, and fell a little short.
Of course, Victor Barbosa has 2 of 2 on his field goal attempts yesterday, Coach. When you have a field goal kicker that's pretty consistent like Victor is, what does that do for your offensive mindset?
It lets me know, once I get to the 25-yard line, he's good. I can kick a field goal. So, and most days on the 30, we get to the 30, we should be able to be good. But definitely the 25-yard line, he's almost like automatic.
And we'll take that. And of course, folks, we have a special treat for you this week. We couldn't get it on last week, but this week you will see the marching maroon and white at the Magic City Classic, the 83rd edition, and their performance, which was outstanding. We come back on the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Maynor. Thank you for watching the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Maynor. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach, we rarely talk about defensive players. But, of course, yesterday's statistics lead us to a new name at the top of the list for a game, Anthony Fieldings, the secondary man making a lot of those tackles yesterday for you, Coach.
Yeah, he was. And you don't like to see that because they're the last line of defense. If he's making a lot of tackles, that means they had some down the field runs or catches, or his guy get some catches down the field. So, but you know, it's good that he made them because he is the last line of defense. So we'd rather have them linebackers making the defensive linemen free enough for the linebackers. But when the secondary guys start making them, that's good too. But we want to keep with the linebackers.
Xavier Langford played quarterback for you yesterday, Coach. Almost 50% of his passes were completed on the day. Anything you think you tried to get him to do that he couldn't do yesterday, or Southern allowed to make plays as well?
Yeah, I mean, they got people on scholarship too, you know, and Xavier is always going to give it his hardest. He's going to lay his heart out on that football field. And he made a play for us to take the lead, gave us the lead 20-19, and ran it in, stiff armed the guy, ran it on in. You know, he's just going to play us hard out. The 50%, you know, now, this day and age, when I played, 50% was good.
Right.
You know, it was good. But now you don't want to be 50%. You got to be better than 50% in 2024. You need to be in the 60s, you know. So we got to get that percentage up a little bit, you know, with all the quick, short passes, free access throws. The quarterback should be in the 60s. So we got to get it. He's been, I think, 50% the last couple of games, and we got to get it up.
Anything special that Southern did yesterday? They held Keenan Hambrick to, I think, four catches yesterday. But anything they did special to you that you may not have been prepared for?
No. They lined up exactly like we thought they would. We was able to execute. We was able to move the ball. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times. We went in motion and the offensive lineman went down, called a play back, and then the very next play, we ran a trick play, throw back to the quarterback, and we went in motion, and the tight end put his hand down. And so and that would have been first and goal at the 1 yard line. You know, that changed the whole football game. So it's just little stuff like that we're doing that's costing us football games that we shouldn't be doing. And that's part of it. That's part of it, you know. You got to go out and play the games. You got to execute when you're supposed to.
That's right. Of course, Coach, another game coming up this weekend, but how do you turn the page on the last game with your student-athletes, especially after the performance in the first half?
Right. Well, we got to. We got to move on. We got to get ready for Pine Bluff. We got to go there. They've been playing better. They're much improved football team. But we can't live off last week, good or bad. If we won the game, if we were sitting here undefeated right now, we couldn't live off that. We got to go play again. And so when you don't execute and don't get the result that you want, you can't live off of that. You got to learn from it, get better, try not to make those same mistakes, and be victorious the next week.
Of course, Coach, looking at your offensive line, you haven't had a lot of changes there during the season. You have some student-athletes, though. You made some changes in the offensive line setup, but not in the number of student-athletes that you had playing. What's that done for your team?
Well, we try to make whatever change we can to help the team, to make the team better. Every move we make, we think is going to help the team. Every decision I make is for the betterment of the football team and the program. So anytime we switch somebody, make a little switch right here, there, it's trying to make the football team better.
We'll close this segment, Coach. What can you tell us about the student-athlete that was hurt in the Magic City Classic? We do know Dr. Bryant released a statement and said he was stable. Is there any update to that?
Yeah, that's it. All we know is he's stable. He is doing a little bit better than he was. And that's all they give me. When I talk to the mom, she texts me back and she tell me he's stable. He's doing a little bit better. He can move, move some limbs and stuff, things of that nature. So we just got to keep praying for him. We got to keep praying for him. It's tough situation. The players, the coaches, it's a tough situation for guys to be going through, but it's called life. So we got to. We all know God don't make any mistakes, so we got to keep it in His hands and move on.
Thank you for the way that you took care of the family and the student-athlete, Coach. That's a part that we never see, but we might hear about it. So thank you all. If you're interested in making a donation, there's a letter that's circulating to the athletics department. I suggest that you call them to make sure you're donating to the right cause. When we come back, we'll have a look at the second half highlights and that special footage we've got for you from the Magic City Classic for the Marching Maroon and White. We come back on the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Manor.
Percussion coordinator, Mr. James, manager of operations, Mr. Gary Gilbert. Ladies and gentlemen, the real show starts now.
Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Manor. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach, the second half, you had the lead, relinquished the lead, but now you're making a comeback with us. Tell us what was going through the mind of the team, if you will, being that close to it.
We know it was Southern had a good football team. They came in time for first on their side. They had just lost to FAMU. It was a good football team. So we knew they had a good football team. And we got off to a good start, as you say. And halftime score was 10-9. Felt like it should have been 20-9, but it wasn't. It was 10-9. And you got to take your hats off to them. Coach Graves did a great job getting those guys prepared, and they made some goal line stands. And they just kept fighting and fought their way back in the game. And then they scored first in the second half. Then they got a field goal. So they was up 19-10. And, our guys we kept fighting. I told the guys, hey, man, we had 10 points in the first 10 minutes of the game, and we still got 10 points. So it's time to go. We got to start making plays. And they did. We drove it down, and we messed up on a play on the third down play, and I think it was 3rd and 6 and a 4th and 6 now. So we said, we're gonna go ahead and take the field goal. We got Victor. We get this 3 and make it a 1-possession game. We got that 3, made it 1-possession game. Go down and get a stop on defense, which defense played well at times, and then we got the ball back and was able to go down and score the go-ahead touchdown and put us up 20-19 with 3.5 minutes left. Now back on the defense. So they got to go out, Bodie Nix, get a stop. They made a big play to convert a first down, and then they threw one to the tight end down the seam. We had great coverage. Marvin Smith had great coverage on it. He actually was holding his right arm, and the guy caught it with one hand with his left hand.
Oh, wow.
Tight end with one hand. So you got to take your hats off to them. They made a play, and we was right there. Now, they was in field goal range, but once they scored right there, that actually was better for us because if they run the clock down to 20 seconds and kick a field goal, now we got 10 seconds to try to get in field goal range. You got one play. So that actually worked out in our advantage to where it gave us a little bit of time to try to go back down and score about 1 minute, 10 seconds, I think, but we didn't have any timeout. So we connected on a big 4th down play, got it down, then we hit a couple other passes and got it to about the 35-yard line and got one more play. And X threw it up and tried to give us a chance to make a play, but it wasn't to be, and we fell a little short.
And coming back this week now, Coach, you're going up to Pine Bluff, Arkansas to play the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, one of the more unusual or creative logos in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. What are you expecting out of Pine Bluff?
Oh, I expect them to play hard. Coach Hampton got those guys playing hard. He got a new culture there he's trying to develop. Those guys are real good. They're good on offense, and they play hard on defense. They got a good quarterback. They got a leading receiver in the conference. So he's leading by a little bit, by a good margin. So we have to be prepared, We have to be prepared to slow them down. You can't stop great players. You can only contain them. So we got to try to contain him. Don't let him get any explosive plays down the football field. And then we got to get some points on the board and get out there with a W.
Pine Bluff should bring back memories, Coach. You defeated them in spring 2021 to win the Southwestern Athletic Conference championship and also the national championship. It's a different coach, but it's still the same Pine Bluff. You get any memories when you go up there?
Always, always. You're always going to remember that, 3 years ago, we played them, and it was a tough football game. We had to score some points in that game. I think it was 40-35 or something like that. And they was a formidable opponent that day, and they will be this Saturday also.
Of course, Saturday's kickoff time. Please go to AAMUsports.com to see the kickoff time is. Coach, the end of the season schedule got juggled a bit. We still have Grambling on a Thursday night. Still have to go to FAMU. Any thoughts about how Thanksgiving is going to go right now?
No, it's too far down the road. We got to take them one at a time. We got to worry about Pine Bluff and get this W and then move on.
And we'll come back and wrap up this week's show on the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Maynard.
It's hard, of course, balancing academics and athletics, but of course your academics first. So just having that time management and having people help out like tutoring and things like that really helps.
You can't have one without the other. You can't have academics without football. You almost can't have football without academics. So as long as you have a plan when you first get to college, a good study plan, you'll be all right.
It's a little challenging, but you got to fight through adversity and put school first, because without school, you can't be on the field.
We practice early in the mornings. That gives you a lot of time throughout the day to go ahead and knock out your schoolwork. So they're always going to have the best interest for you and school itself to make sure that you leave with that degree.
Engineering and science usually look like this, but our students build race cars from the ground up, explore wind tunnels, particle accelerators, and crystal growth. Our studies in cybersecurity and rocket propulsion have tech companies like Google and SpaceX recruiting at Alabama A&M University, with one of the highest percentages of women STEM graduates in the country. Alabama A&M University. Start here, go anywhere.
Academics is huge, so I prioritize that first. As soon as I'm done with practice, I go to study hall, do my things first. But the biggest thing I would tell anybody or any college athlete is do your studies first before you do practice. Don't worry about anything else. So that's kind of how I balance. I put academics first, football secondary.
You can't be procrastinating. You can't be thinking that I get it later, I get it tomorrow. Tomorrow gonna be here.
Again, thank you for watching the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Maynor. The game we spoke about, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, is up next in Pine Bluff. That game will be at 2 o'clock p.m. That means the pregame show may be heard starting about 1:45 on 90.9 FM WJAB. Coach, the road trip might be time to take a business trip, get everybody together. You have more time with your student athletes, and you've got more opportunity to look them in the eye and see where they are.
Yeah, we got to have a gut check. We got to have a gut check. We're 3-5, 1-3 in the conference, so we need to get this one, get the next one.
Mm-hmm.
That'll put us back to 6-5, and then we got FAMU. If we can somehow go to FAMU and beat them, we wind up 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad football season. Not what we wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but if that's where we can end up on a 4-game winning streak and finishing off beating FAMU, that'd be a great football season. So that's going to be my message to the players, that we still got a lot of football to play. We still have something to play for, winning season for the seniors,
Mm-hmm.
4-game winning streak. I'm excited about the finish. We got to grind, get back to the grind, and learn from this loss, and get ready to go to Pine Bluff and get a W.
For those of you interested, you can go to AAMUsports.com, see the ticket button, and go ahead and purchase your tickets. Thursday night, Grambling. That'll be a nationally televised game. That's big, but first, the Bulldogs have to go up here and take care of the Golden Lions. Coach, good luck, but you have the final word.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We had a nice crowd out again. The Bulldog Nation is showing up and showing out, and we support that. We thank you for showing the support to these seniors. Their blood, sweat, and tears over the last 4 and 5 years. Those guys deserve that, and you showed up to send them out the right way. We appreciate it, and I look forward to you next Thursday night on ESPN against Grambling.
Thank you all so much for watching the Alabama A&M Football Review with head coach Connell Mann. Good night.
Bulldog fans, thank you for joining us today for the Alabama A&M University Football Review. Bulldog faithful, we encourage your support and participation. Until next time, go Bulldogs!